Hello. I want to share an experience I just had late last night and early this morning with regards to censorship and silencing our voices. But first, allow me to read a paragraph because I can say it much more articulately that way. So, dear fellow Americans and fellow walkawayers, it is time to make some noise. The days of the left bullying those on the right into silence is over. For the facts, not the fake narratives, are on our side. We live in America, where freedom of speech and the right to have your opinions and ideas voiced in the public square is the law. Afraid of losing your job and friends and family can no longer be the norm, because at stake is losing our wonderful country and our Constitution. Yes, folks, this is a war. It's a civil war that can be won, but not with violence, but with speaking out. We have taken the first step by using our silent majority and casting our vote in the voting booth. But now is the time to use our vocal majority to get the message out and let the left know that their days of bullying us into silence is over. We can't just rely on our votes, but need our collective voices. So here's the experience that I would like to share. I posted a link on my local community page of our Senator Elizabeth Warren in an interview on CNN regarding the Molly Tibbetts murder. And then I added to the link that I wanted the people to see something like this. It's not verbatim, and I'll explain why in a minute, why I don't have the exact words with the post. I am sorry to have to share the inconvenient truth that the mainstream media is barely covering with the tragic and preventable murder of Molly Tibbetts by an illegal alien who permanently separated her from her family. Please watch our Senator Elizabeth Warren's own words, casually dismissing her murder and stating that the, quote, real problem is families being separated at the border. I encourage you all not to cast a vote for her in November, for she clearly takes the side of illegals over the safety of American citizens. And please, spare me your false comparisons if you choose to respond. And that was it. So, here are the tricks of the trade, and they have many tricks of the trade, of trying to silence our voices. And we do have the facts on our side. So, the first person to comment has to now bring race into the discussion. Now, keep in mind, there was never any mention of race in my initial post. So I respectfully responded that there is, so the race issue is more whites commit crimes than illegals. So I respectfully responded that there has nothing to do with race in this issue. This is an issue about illegals. So, and you obviously didn't read my post all the way through, for I asked nicely not to use false comparisons. So please, follow what I asked. Response back, crickets, nothing. Then the next person tried this tactic. This post shouldn't be on this local community page, for it's a national issue. And you're sharing your twisted facts and personally attacking my intelligence. Typical. So I respectfully responded that this is a local issue, and she is our senator, and I'm encouraging my fellow residents to not cast a vote for her. And you're validating a point that I have learned, that when one cannot debate the merits on the argument, they have to resort to personal attacks. And I appreciate you validating it, but I bet you can do better. So why don't you list all of the twisted facts, and then I'll be happy to respond. And the response back, crickets. Nothing. Got no response. I don't know what twisted facts I had, but would have been nice to know. So that didn't work. So then the next commenter posts a link that says this guy wasn't an illegal. He was a legal citizen, and he posts a link to prove it, and then calls me a sheep, for following the fake narratives and the Fox News and all that good stuff. And again, I respectfully responded back. I highly encourage you to do a little bit more research before putting forth a false narrative. And I shared the link confirming that he is in fact an illegal alien. And I would appreciate no personal attacks, and encourage not to use fake news. I mean, here, he's the sheep, but, whatever. Response back, crickets, nothing. Silent. So then the next person that comments is this woman, and she's, all morally superior. How dare I place all illegals in the same box as all being criminals? And then, of course, comparing whites who commit more crime. Back to the race thing. They're obsessed with race. And that's when I said, respectfully back, no, I am simply showing that all illegals have one thing in common, and that is that they're here illegally. You obviously didn't read my post, and you did not respond to what I had inquired about. This is not a race issue, and, stop making the false comparisons. I encourage people not to do that, and they keep trying. Response back, crickets. Then another woman tried this tactic. And keep in mind, this woman that I'll be talking about right now had made several comments while I was still sleeping and woke up to this morning. And she wrote, "We must respect the Tibbetts family wishes to not politicize this issue. So we shouldn't be politicizing this issue." So here she is lecturing me that I'm politicizing this issue. She's politicizing this issue and bringing in the race in the comments and all, and even just commenting on it. So I respectfully responded that no, it was Elizabeth Warren that politicized this issue, and I'm simply bringing it to the attention of my fellow residents in my community. And rather than lecturing me, why don't you take your own advice and just scroll by and not comment? You are not even listening to your own advice and are politicizing this issue. And then she keeps going. And I said, I have a sneaky suspicion, because you keep politicizing this issue, that the only reason you commented that was to silence my free speech and used the wishes of the Tibbetts family as an excuse to silence it. And then, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, my daily phone call to my mom, and we're having a conversation. I'm sharing all the comments and how, giving her example after example, reading how they're trying to silence me, and look at all the different tactics they're trying to use. And then all of a sudden I see some more comments come up. I'm like, oh, mama, I got some more comments. So I click on, and this post has been removed. See, the admin used his ability to censor and remove the entire post and the entire thread. It's tough living in Massachusetts, but that is not going to stop me from using my voice, my respectful voice, my voice that can be backed up with nothing but facts. I can pull apart their fake false narratives, and it's amazing when you do it that way, they silence themselves. They cannot respond. So use the facts. Don't buy into these techniques. I hope I was able to educate you and show all the different tricks of the trade. You have to keep the people on the left very focused on the issue. The minute they bring in race, you got to stop it. Ain't about race. Not everything is about race. And if we're really truly Americans, we shouldn't even be looking at race. But that's another issue for another day. Hope I was able to enlighten my fellow Americans and walkawayers, and we gotta let our voices be out there now. This is a civil war. Thank you all for listening.